Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review and first impressions on the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation and also the concealer that comes along with it. I believe that these are fairly new products in the drugstore, and I've heard some people talk about these, and I just recently got them in my local drugstore. So when I saw these, I was super excited to try it out. So the way that this video is going to work is I'm going to apply the foundation and the concealer on camera so you can see how it works and how it applies on the skin, and then I'll be checking in with you guys throughout the day to let you know how the foundation is holding up and whether or not I would recommend it to you if you have been interested in buying this. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this. This is the first time that I've ever done this for a foundation and a concealer. So I hope that you guys like this, and yeah, let's get started. So since my skin has broken out, I'm going to try and cover the red spots first with my concealer, just because that's what I normally do in my foundation routine. I try and cover blemishes first if I have any. And just a tip for you guys, you see how this concealer has like a little applicator like this? You never want to put it directly onto your blemishes or onto any irritated areas of the skin, because you don't want to transfer any like bacteria from one blemish or spot on your face to other areas of your face. And if you think about it, you're putting the little applicator back in this tube. Always keep that in the back of your mind when you're using products like this. Don't ever directly apply it onto any affected areas of your face. I like to just take the applicator and put a little bit on the back of my hand like this, and then I'll work off of this product right here. So I'm going to start by using one of my favorite brushes to apply the concealer. This is the Precision Angled Brush, the P84, and I'm just going to work off this product of the concealer that I placed on the back of my hand and just start putting it onto the blemishes and see how it covers. It's actually a really nice color. It's not like super light. It looks a little peachy compared to the concealer that I normally use, which is the Maybelline Master Conceal. It has more of a yellow undertone, but that's okay. Let's just work with it and see what happens. So I'll conceal around my nose where I tend to get a lot of redness. So it actually looks like it's covering pretty well. I'm actually very impressed, because I have heard that this doesn't really work great as a covering concealer. So I just placed a tiny bit more on a different area of my hand. So far as it covering blemishes, it seems pretty good. Let's see how it works as a highlighter after I go in with the foundation. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the foundation and pump it right onto the brush. The color is probably going to be a little bit darker than my neck, because I did choose this color when I had a bit of a tan that I no longer have. I feel like I put a lot of product on the brush. I probably should have used half a pump. So I actually really love how this is applying with the brush so far. It has been blending really, really nicely, and it gave a pretty good coverage. I'm just going to do a tiny little bit more to add to my forehead. I'm just kind of pressing it into the skin. It seems to work better that way rather than moving it around. So let's try the other side of my face using a beauty blender and see how it applies that way. So I just put one full pump on the beauty blender, and I'm going to start working it into the skin. As you can see, the beauty blender kind of shears out the foundation a little bit. I'm going to have to go in with a second layer on this side, because you can still see the red spots underneath the foundation. So I'm just going to add a little bit more, go on to my forehead. I am going to go in with a second layer on each side just to see how the foundation builds up. I want to see if this is buildable, or if it starts to look cakey, or if it feels cakey. As of right now, it feels pretty good on my skin. I feel like the side that I used with the brush, I got a little bit more coverage. So I'll do a second layer with the beauty blender first. Okay, now it looks like it's covering the blemishes with the second layer. It's starting to feel like a lot of makeup. I personally wouldn't do 2 layers. I'm just doing it for the sake of this video to let you guys know if the foundation is buildable or not. But it definitely feels like more than enough makeup is on my face right now. So this is what my skin looks like with 2 layers of the foundation. I can feel it on my face now that I applied the second layer. The first layer, my skin felt okay. With the second layer, you really can just feel it on your face. I'm not sure if that feeling will go away just yet because it's still kind of settling into my skin, but it is buildable. It's not caking up anywhere. It looks really flawless. Like, I'm really actually impressed with the coverage of this foundation. I do think that it would take 2 layers though to cover like any blemishes or any like breakout areas on your skin. I really do like the color. It's not too pinky or anything like that. Sometimes when you get foundations from the drugstore, they can have really, really pink undertones. This one, I don't see an issue with that at all. So let's go ahead and move on to the concealer and see how it works as a highlighter. When I'm just applying the concealer underneath my eyes and there's no breakouts in that area, I will go ahead and apply the applicator directly onto my skin. My first impression of this is it looks amazing on the skin. Aside from, I think if I didn't put that second layer on, my skin would feel amazing right now, but it just looks flawless. Like, my skin looks flawless right now. I haven't set my concealer or anything yet, and as of right now, my skin just looks amazing. I'm really, really impressed with the coverage and just everything. It hasn't emphasized any pores. But I'm just setting the areas that I applied concealer using a translucent setting powder. I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup for the day, and I will come back and check in with you guys in a few hours and let you know how it's holding up and what I think about it. Right now, it is currently 12:26 in the afternoon, so I'll come back and check in a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm checking back in with you now. It is currently 6:03 p.m. and I just am so excited. I couldn't wait to get back on camera and tell you guys what I'm thinking of this foundation right now. I usually have the worst issues with my foundations creasing up in the lines on my face, like my smile lines or my forehead or just anywhere. I feel like it moves around and it usually always settles into my lines, and I just cannot believe this right now. It still looks amazing. The only thing that I do notice is it is kind of creasing up just around the edges of my nose. The rest of my face looks, I'm so impressed. I really didn't have amazing expectations for this foundation. For whatever reason, I don't really know why. I guess I just didn't. I forgot to tell you guys how much I paid for these when I first came on camera. For the foundation, I paid anywhere from $10 to $12. I think I paid like smack dab in the middle. The drugstores near me are super pricey, so I think you can get this at Target for like $10, but I bought mine at Rite Aid or Walgreens. I bought mine at one of those two, and I'm pretty sure it was a little bit closer to $12. And then the concealer, I believe, was around $10 as well. And also for the foundation, I am in the shade Warm Nude, and then for the concealer, I'm in the shade Light. I don't think I covered what type of finish this is when I first started filming. I think it's more like a satin finish because it's not like super dewy or anything, but it's not like completely flat. I don't have any highlighter on today, and I just feel like my skin just has like this natural pretty glow. Also, when I first applied the 2 layers of foundation, I remember thinking it was a little heavy on my face. I haven't noticed it at all throughout the day. When I touch my face, there is a slight tackiness to it when I touch my skin, but I try to avoid touching my face throughout the day anyways because I don't want my makeup to come off. But it seems to be holding up really well. I feel like it makes my pores almost looks smaller. Like it kind of looks like it just blurred everything over. I did take a picture using the flash and there was no flashback, so that's amazing. I'm really excited about that. So I'm gonna wear this for a couple more hours and check back in with you guys and let you know what I'm thinking. But as of right now, I am just really impressed. Okay, you guys, so I'm back with my last check-in for the night. It is 9:27 p.m. I've had this foundation on my face since I think around like 12:30. I believe that's when I put it on. Way earlier in the day, and it's held up amazing. It looks perfectly fine on my cheeks. The only problem area that I'm noticing after all of these hours is around the nose, where the product has kind of built up a little bit on the sides of my nose, and it's gotten a little oily. But I mean, I didn't use a primer because I wanted to just test it on its own, so there's no base. So I think this did really well for not having any primer or any sort of base to hang on to. It still looks pretty good. If I were to continue wearing this for a few more hours, I would have to use some sort of powder just to touch up around the nose area. But like I said earlier, it hasn't creased up around my forehead. It hasn't creased up around my smile lines. It's remained amazing. The only thing that's happened a little bit is it's worn off just around my mouth, but I've been eating and stuff, and you know, that happens with every foundation. Other than that, I think it still looks pretty amazing considering I haven't touched it up. I've had it on since 12:30 in the afternoon. I didn't use a primer, and yeah, I think that this is really amazing. In my opinion, I would recommend this foundation to anyone with normal all the way to oily skin. I think all skin types can pretty much work with this. I just truly loved it. So I hope that this helped you guys out if you were thinking of purchasing this foundation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And to those of you who have already subscribed, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.